Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Saturday. So I do apologize for the little delay or the kind of late upload, but I wanted to make this video because, what's going on, Farron? So thank you for joining us for your first time. So first of all, for those that don't know who it is that I am, my name is Ricky. I have a little bit over 137,000 subscribers. I have a little bit over 90,000 members within my free networking community. It's the third link in the description. It's completely free, and we offer a free group chat as well. What's going on, Frank? So I just wanted to thank for all those that are tuning in live. If you guys ever want to tune in live, be sure to click that subscribe button, and on the, I think it's right hand side, there's a little bell. Be sure to turn that on and you will get alerted every time that I go live. So I do go live usually almost every single day, especially during market open. And first of all, what I want to talk about is kind of like how this week has been playing out for me, right? So this week I showed you guys my trades, both like, my green trades and my one red trade that I had so far this entire year, right? I closed the week a little bit over $3,300. I closed it very strong on Friday with a little bit over $1,300 profit that I showed you on my call out and trade with ticker symbol DRIP. And the week prior was $3,800 profit, right? So if you guys just can do the math, just with those two days or weeks themselves, so within a 2-week period, being able to make a little bit over $7,000 profit, I get the question asked a lot, like, hey, Ricky, like, I'm not seeing the form of success that maybe a lot of like, like just a lot of people that people within our trading community that are a little bit more profitable on a consistent basis. And I wanted to take time to simply talk about, this is my opinion, my kind of like my tips on what I would, based on my experience and what I would hope that can resonate very well with you, right? I would encourage you, like, after this video, for you guys to get an understanding of who it is that I am as an individual. Be sure to check out that main video on my YouTube channel. It talks about my story. How is it that I got, at age 23 to becoming one of the youngest, millionaires in Arizona and stuff like that. And it talks to you and gives you a little bit more of a background on my story and stuff like that. But altogether, when it comes down to trading, should you quit, right? I think a lot of people, unfortunately, because of the market being a little bit more volatile and there's been a lot of pullbacks, people have been losing a little bit more money than they're comfortable with, and that kind of like light comes out, right, or turns on. It's like, hey, maybe the stock market isn't the isn't the market for me, right? And there's no issue with that or anything like that. If that's how you think, 100%, I understand it. I just want to share my opinion, and let's get right to it. So we're about at 2:45. So what I wanted to talk about is when I first started trading, within my first years, right, I lost a little bit over, or lost nearly $3,500, and that's almost everything that is that I had to my name. And I obviously was doing a number of things wrong, and I was becoming very inconsistent, and that's why I created this group. I talk about the mistakes that I made, what kind of now led to my success now, and you guys could see that I'm at a point in my life as of now that, making these consistent profits and stuff like that. It's a beautiful thing, and it's an amazing opportunity and blessing that I'm able to do this. But I started red. I started losing money. And all I want to ask you, I'm not here to convince you that the stock market is for you, because I understand that we're all wired different ways, 100%. All I want to remind you is, the market has been extremely volatile, right? I feel also a very common mistake that a lot of people make is because they have access to the money and because they have access to the the stocks to be able to trade them, that they feel like because they can see me, or because they have because they see what it is that I trade, and they think that they can mimic my trades, which is something that I never recommend, that they think that they can make the same amount of money that I can. And when they don't experience that same success, they get discouraged and they no longer want to do it. One of the biggest recommendations that I can have is, if you're trying to get into the stock market for a get-rich-quick scheme, or to try to make a lot of money super quick, based on my experience and based on my approach, that's not how it works. I'm not someone that trades pump and dumps. I'm not someone that trades extremely volatile stocks. I'm a pretty consistent and conservative investor. It has worked very well for me. I've been doing this for some time that I feel extremely comfortable with within this market. And all I want to remind you is that it took time, right? With any form of success, you will see that a lot of people, especially, like, let's say not even just in the stock market, but becoming like a very well-known or very reputable, let's say like dentist or doctor or business owner, overall establishment, right? It takes time to get there. And I feel like a lot of people, unfortunately, because of all the hype that there is, I have to contest to this, right? Like I have to be completely honest. This thumbnail that I used, right? It has my McLaren, it has my GTR, and then you see a young individual, saying, hey, should you quit investing in the stock market? I'm not here to promote. I mean, I talk about my story and that I've done this for such a long period of time that I'm able to be where it is that I am today, and I live comfortably, right? You guys know that investing in the stock market is not the only thing that I do, and I own a series of other businesses, a series of other ventures that I'm always working on, and I feel like that's something that you guys really like about me because I'm so diverse in my overall forms of investments. All I ask you is to remind yourself that the market is not going to be a market where you're going to get rich quick, at least not with my approach. And it's not something that I've personally experienced, really for anyone. There's obviously sometimes that people get lucky, but getting lucky on a consistent basis in the stock market, well, the success rate of the 95% of people who fail would go and contradict that, right? So all I'm here to remind you is ask yourself, do you truly understand everything it is, or you can't really understand everything that is that the stock market has to offer, but what you can. But you can't, I mean, if you guys are watching this video, you guys aren't watching this video for entertainment purposes. You're watching this video because you want to either make, an extra source of income. You are somewhat of a more knowledgeable individual than the average person. And I think you need to give yourself credit in that perspective. With that understanding, you guys should make sense that, hey, do I really understand enough about the stock market that I've earned the couple $100 days, maybe the $100 day or a $50 day or a $150 day? There's a lot of work that goes behind being able to make those specific trades. Me being able to have a $1,300 day, it's not even about like necessarily the dollar value anymore, but I focus so much on patterns and I understand my style of trading so well. And I'm still learning, right? Every single day and every single week, but I'm still, with what it is that I do know and how it is that it has led to my success, then I know that every time that I take a position, I'm fully knowledgeable of the risk involved and why is it that I'm taking that position, because I understand the pattern. And simply ask yourself. I feel like a lot of people focus on a lot of low cap stocks, which I've been there, focus on a lot of pump and dumps, a lot of manipulation, or they try to follow the hype, what everyone else is trading, right? My approach is a little bit different. I don't invest based on other people's opinion. I almost invest in the same ETFs and stocks time after time that are very consistent. They don't offer 30-40% growth, but if I'm able to capture anywhere from 2 to 5% a day on a consistent basis, I mean, proof is to show with my overall growth on my account and my profits. And you guys can watch a series of my videos that all I focus on is consistency. And even if you're doing bad right now, one thing that let me just kind of get straight to it. I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. What I want to get to is if you feel like you're getting very discouraged about the stock market, it's probably because you're either, the first thing has to be you're losing money, right? And you're losing a dollar value that is so uncomfortable that you are considering no longer wanting to partake in the stock market. So one of the first things that I'd recommend, that I always recommend, if you're part of my Learn Plan Profit group, if you're part of even TechBud Solutions, or you've direct messaged me on how much money do you need to get started in investing in the stock market, I first and always say, please start simulation trading. It's trading with fake money. You get to trade all real-time stocks, right? And I have a video that talks about it. There's a series of videos online. I've recommended to the Ameritrade. You don't have to use it, but it allows you to trade real stocks with no risk. So you get to test the waters, see if this is a market that you see value in. You get to manage a risk because there's no dollar value invested, and you can prove to yourself that with these rules that you learn and the system, that if you can grow your account when it comes down to simulation trading and you start to understand the market much more, you're going to go through a series of mistakes with fake money and there's no monetary risk. And that's one of the biggest, if you're 10 years old, if you're 100 years old, it doesn't matter, right? When there's no monetary risk and you're motivated to want to learn about a new market, I think it's a beautiful thing and the opportunity that we're given now to be able to make money, right? Or to be able to learn how to make money without any monetary risk. So be sure that the dollar value that you're investing, and if you lose all of it, that it's not going to discourage you. Because right now, if you're just getting started, that's the number one thing that I would hate for you to do, to be discouraged to invest in a market because you went in too heavy or too aggressive in the very beginning. One of the first things that I'd recommend. The second thing is time management. I feel like a lot of people, like myself when I first got started, get very excited about the stock market and what it has to offer, and they think that they're going to make an enormous amount of money when they first get started. But because of how excited they are in the very beginning, they overwhelm themselves. They invest maybe like 10 to 15 hours a day, maybe for the first week to 2 weeks, and then they see that, hey, I'm not seeing the type of success that I want to see, and then they move on to another market and do the same thing, and they experience failure here, they experience failure in Forex, they experience failure in crypto, and like, wow, I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm not an investor, I'm gonna work, whatever it is and stuff, right? Do you guys get what I'm saying? There's so much, I think, pressure that people put on themselves in the very beginning that's not even the case. Someone that I'm mentoring in person, like that's one of my roommates that I'm trying to get in the right direction, I saw the same thing happen to him. And what I said was like, dude, you have to take a step back. You have to not, right now, it's not, you can't be so focused on the dollar value that you're making. I know this sounds, I don't know if this is what you guys want to hear, but I just want to be completely honest. Don't focus, if you're just getting started in investing in the stock market, don't be focused on how much money is it that can I make right now, because you're going to make a lot of mistakes. And because of that, one thing that I would encourage you to focus on is to focus on continuously growing your account, understanding what it is that you are trading and the patterns and the risk involved. Easiest way to put it. Focus on patterns, understanding them, and continuously growing your account with percentage growth on a consistent basis. If you could grow your account 1%, 3%, 5% on a weekly basis, that's all I want you to focus on, because right now, as you're starting, is not when you're going, most likely it's not going to be when you're going to be making the couple $1,000s a day or a couple $100s a day, because you're still learning. Again, it takes time. And I would hate for you to get discouraged because you're going in so aggressively that when that time, when the time that you're investing in this market doesn't correlate over to the dollar return, of course, you're not going to see value in it anymore. You're going to get discouraged and then no longer want to do it. One of the number one things on why I think I've achieved a form of success, as well as many people around me and many other people, is it doesn't, and I think there's a quote, something like that, it doesn't come down, it comes down to consistency. And if you see value in something, so this is something that I always say, if you have a passion for something, you guys can see it by my videos, I have a passion about the stock market. I love it. I love what it is. I love that I can make money by investing money. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I love, just everything it is that the stock market has to offer. And I love it. I love what it is that I do. I have a passion for it. And if you have a passion for trading, if you have a passion for starting your own business, if you have a passion for apparel, if you have a passion for school, if it's something that you love and you truly see value in it, so again, you truly see value in it and you see a potential future, just be consistent. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, dedicate some time on a consistent basis. Don't overwhelm yourself, to always learn something new and to always continue to grow. Number one recommendation that I can have just in life in general. So with that understanding, now that you know that, hey, maybe going in very aggressively when first starting out with trading isn't going to be, probably the best move. Also, when it comes down to, just on a consistent basis, learning so you don't discourage yourself as an investor. Now, ultimately, if you aren't passionate about the stock market, if you don't like it, and if it's just completely something that you don't want to be a part of, all I want for all those that are watching this video is to just what's going on? I've been following you for a year now since you had braces. That's so funny. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I've been getting this message a little bit more, and it really does, it does, like, it makes you sad. It makes you sad when you see a couple people, like, there's the dollar value that they lose, which I get, that sucks, but it's not even that, but it's, I would hate for someone to get discouraged about a potential bright future because of them making simple mistakes in the very beginning. I would not be here where I am today if I was not consistent, if I was not passionate about what it is that I was doing when I first started. And I was not, it took me a while to get where it is that I am today. And obviously there's no question about that. You guys, the majority of you guys have heard about my story and stuff like that. And everyone starts from different foundations. That's something that, has to be reminded. We all start with different backgrounds. Some people with, some, a stronger foundation. Some people with, starting from rock bottom. And that's something that you have to understand. We're all given, but the same opportunity when it comes down to what it is that we make out of our lives. And although we all start from different beginnings, it doesn't matter where you start, it matters where you end up. And sometimes some people might experience that form of success or that goal at a much quicker rate than others, right? But as long as you're passionate about it, as long as you love what it is that you do and you see value in it, then it doesn't matter if it takes maybe 1 year, if it takes 30 years. That's not the important part. But as long as you're doing something that you love and you see value in it and you really feel like it's truly something that is guiding you in the right direction, then that's all I ask for you to do. So you guys are all smart people. If you want to quit investing in the stock market, if you want to quit trading altogether, I will 100% support that. All I want to ask you is, did you truly understand everything it is that you think you could have understood about the market before investing your hard-earned money? Was it the dollar value that you invested that you think might have been a little bit too much, which then discouraged you? Were you investing too much time in the very beginning and then you didn't see the value in it later? That usually tends to be the biggest drawbacks, and I just wanted to remind you or give you guys some tips on what I hope can guide you in your success. So what's going on, Chris? Thank you, I appreciate it. What's going on, Lovina? What's going on, Junior? Thank you. It says, thank you, Ricky. You're a blessing to everyone who wants to succeed. I appreciate that. I really do. So thank you, Ricky, for the motivation. Joining Learn, Plan, Profit soon. I appreciate that. Jay Ram is saying, thank you, Ricky, for the motivation. Or what is it? Or Zarko saying, Ricky, you are a wise young man. I appreciate that. I really, really do. Let's see. How can I grow my account like you grow those biceps? Oh man, hey, and that's honestly, let me end it with this. So you guys know about like, I mean, obviously I do pretty well, and yeah. So when it comes down to like trading now, right, and obviously the different businesses that I have now, and that's great. But I think a great example, a huge area of opportunity in my life, was my weight, and I'm being completely honest. This is me like being as transparent as I can with you guys. I was always very skinny, and I know a lot of people don't see that as a bad thing, but I wouldn't ever get like really bullied. I mean, people would like sometimes say some names, but because I was thin, they didn't find it very offensive. To me, it was something that I felt that I always struggled with. I would eat a lot. I have a very fast metabolism, and it just nothing would work for me. Like that message, right? Like, hey, Ricky, tell me like how you get your biceps. If you guys have seen like, I mean, I'm not a big guy, right? I mean, I'm 6'4", and I'm pretty thin. There's no question about that. And I saw an area of opportunity in my life which needed some improvement, in my opinion, that would make me feel better or more fulfilled. And I'm not someone that is going to go to the gym 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours every single day, because I just don't have time for it. It would not make me happy, and it's not something that I'm passionate about. But I understand that being fit is something that I want to do. So what I did was, even if I go for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, all I do is I make a commitment to myself that 5 days out of the week I'm going to go to the gym, even if it's just for 15 minutes to 30 minutes, and just get my blood going. And I mean, as you guys can see, I mean, I know this is like completely weird, and trust me, this is not something that I'm extremely comfortable with. But I mean, I've been going to the gym on a consistent basis for about a month and a half. I go maybe 20, 30 minutes a day. And just for those that think it's funny and stuff like that, like you guys could see my bicep, and I mean, whatever it is, right? You guys can see that it doesn't take. I'm not the best like lifter or anything like that. And I know like that's weird that I just like flex, but I'm just showing you guys that it doesn't matter that if you're not the best in everything that you do, especially when you're just getting started. But I can reassure you that if you work hard, if you have a passion for it, and if you continue to do it on a consistent basis, then you will eventually find a form of success. Consistency is everything. And I really hope that you guys can take my story and everything that is that I do as an example on how important it is to be consistent, to follow your dreams, and to ensure that whatever it is that you do in life, that you have a passion for, and that you do on a consistent basis. That is really just it. So I hope you guys all have a beautiful Saturday. Thank you guys again so much for watching. If you guys can give the video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. If you guys can't, I totally understand. Be sure, if you guys want to stay connected with our free trading community, it's the third link in the description. It's TechBot Solutions, over 90,000 members. And if you want to potentially work with me on a daily basis with my private group, so it's the group that I mentor, invest 30 seconds, click that first link in the description and learn a little bit more about my group and the people that I assist on a daily basis. So I want to thank you guys again for your time. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.